Okay, so for more on the Manitoba fires, I want to bring in Cyndi Pedwell. She evacuated her home in Flin Flon, where the fires continue to spread, as you just heard. She is also a small business owner of Wild North Lifestyle and Peds Threads. We reached her in Saskatoon. Cyndi, thank you so much. Now, you chose to go to Saskatoon because you have family there. You didn't evacuate, though, I think until I'm reading yesterday, so you held out a little bit. What was that evacuation like when you did leave?
Well, we left Wednesday afternoon, probably 2 hours after the evacuation notice was out. So my family and I, got into the convoy, and it was a very long line out of town. Everybody was leaving at the same time, quite orderly fashion, though. So it was, I felt safe leaving that way.
Yeah. So that's sort of, the physical, how it went. What was it like for you emotionally to leave Flin Flon?
I would say at the time it was more like just, do we have everything together and get out? I feel like today is more emotionally sinking in, but at the time it was more like, get to work and get your things and get out.
Yeah. So where are your thoughts now? I mean, just listening to Caroline there talk about the fact that the latest we've heard is this fire is 400 meters away. That is not a big distance, and I don't mean to make this any worse for you, but how closely are you watching websites, and have you heard anything that perhaps we aren't?
No, you know what? I'm on social media and with my friends, and we all are watching it pretty much all day in between, trying to still, get things ready for where we're living. I don't think I know any more than you do about it. I think lots of firemen are there and more are coming, and I know that they're doing their best. Some of our social media, people are sharing their home videos outside of their Ring cameras and stuff, and so we can kind of watch a little more real time what's going on.
Those who are talking with, I mean, is everybody feeling like, as you say, it was a pretty orderly evacuation? Did they get all the things out that they needed to? I don't think you can ever take everything, obviously, that you want to have with you, but do you feel like you got what you need out of your home before you left?
For my own self, I actually live about 15 minutes to the west of Flin Flon, and the fire at the moment really isn't anywhere near my home. So, I obviously had to pack something to be away from myself personally, but I had went into my business and just tried to grab what was essential. Should I lose what's there, the most important things? That's kind of what more I packed up. The rest of my friends, we had a few days of pre-alert, and I think that they did take that seriously and had their important things packed in their car and ready to go.
As we're talking to you, we're showing images of both the fire, but also of your business, sweatshirts that you've done, logo embroidery on. You're a small business owner. I don't know where your business is located, but what are your fears there?
My business is physically located sort of in the center of town. So, right now I don't feel like it's in danger of burning. But I fear more for our economy should the fire get in and start, taking homes and taking structures. We've already had a few hits to our economy in our small town, and I kind of fear that that's just one more thing that's really going to hurt us.
We've heard from the mayor saying that the wind is driving the fire, unfortunately, certainly at times toward Flin Flon. And given that it's so close, certainly the fears are for the worst here. Talk to me about Flin Flon. You've lived there your whole life. This is a very northern community. Not a lot of Canada knows that much about Flin Flon, though I have to tell you, I think a lot of us have heard of it because it has a bit of an unusual name. What should we know about Flin Flon?
Well, Flin Flon is a beautiful outdoors area, canoeing, fishing, hiking. That's usually why people really love to live there. Although I think our spirit of community is also what keeps people here. Anybody that's moved to Flin Flon from somewhere else in Canada often like to stay because they just really like the sense of community that we have here. We're pretty tough. Living in the north, we're pretty tough.
Did you ever imagine that this was going to happen to your community?
Never. And even watching, last year, the fire for Jasper, that's devastating. And for our own self here, I feel like we've always had fires sort of somewhat around, but not so close. And now this time it's just, I don't even know what to think. It's still sinking in. It just doesn't really feel real. And I sure hope that that the winds blow the right way and it doesn't get into our community.
Well, Cyndi, we all are hoping exactly the same thing for you and the rest of the community of Flin Flon, that the winds, as you say, blow the right way. I hope you don't have to stay in Saskatoon very long, but I know you get to stay with family, so at least that's a good thing. Yeah. Cyndi Pedwell, resident and small business owner of Flin Flon, Manitoba. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.